Welcome. So I'm gonna jump right into it, this video, because there's a lot to cover. And this is honestly it's a fun one. It's a fun project. Anyway, I have a kitchen. And like many of you, I use things in the kitchen. Right now, they're all lumped up in this drawer. And I don't like it. It's okay. So it sounds kind of stupid, but it's one extra step. I have to open the drawer and I have to get the things, and they're usually all clumped up. They're not organized, so it's noisy. And I have to close the door again, and if I need something, it keeps on adding up. I know that it's one step and it's one extra step. But you think about all the different times you have to cook something, you have to get something, you have to use utensils, and it really adds up. It's a really tiny thing, but over time, you couple that with the crushing weight of having to prepare your own meal every time you're hungry, and it adds up. I thought about it, and I have some smooth glass space right over here. It's right above the counter, and it's a flat glass surface. And I'm thinking maybe I can use a suction cup to hang a few things to hook my utensils into. And that's pretty much how this whole thing started. I ordered this immediately after getting this thought, because again, this thought was just enough for me to jump into it and commit and buy something. So I ordered 20 of these suction. I really like them because they're very low quality, and so they challenged me to have to design something really good. But here it is. There's this peg, again, with the standard dimensions. I have to design around this. This is a design constraint, and it's a way for me to anchor whatever I want to anchor into this suction cup. So that's the first ever limit. I like the location because it's right above my stovetop. It doesn't obstruct my view of what I'm cooking. So if we have, like, for example, whatever I'm cooking here, it's not blocking it, it's not above it, it's not really in the way. And I don't need any secondary operations to access what I need to access. I look, I grab, that's it. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. And also I wanted an excuse to design a compliant mechanism, which I do. Basically, this project, it's not really a necessary project. It's not a need. What it is, it's an excuse. It's an excuse for me to design something called a compliant mechanism. I mean, it's all around us. Like a compliant mechanism, this is technically a compliant mechanism, because for those of you who don't know, it's actually, you know what? I'm just gonna put examples. It's this one. It's that one, and this one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and that one. Yeah, that one. So all of these are compliant mechanisms, and if you're noticing a pattern, that's probably because it's there. Compliant mechanisms are one or more objects that, I'm wearing this wrong. They are one or more objects that deform elastically to change geometry in a desired way. And it's opposed to, oh my God, something like this. This spring is considered a compliant mechanism, right? Springs are a very, very popular form of compliant mechanisms because they move back and forth here, and they move in the elastic region. The elastic region, I think I did a diagram about this. I don't know, we'll find out when I'm editing. But the elastic region is basically force per unit per square meter, per area in general. Sometimes it's PSI. Americans like to use PSI. I don't. I like to use kilopascals because Pascal is French, and why not? The reason why knives are knives. It's the reason why things that are sharp can cut you and with very little force, and things that are dull need much more force to cut you because the stress is much less. Stress is what causes damage, not force. Stress is really what causes damage. Force is a component that's put into stress, but it's not everything. In elastic deformation, they can return back to normal. This is very, very, very generic. Like, you can read up on this for years. All the molecules, they change. Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so if I'm applying force in elastic deformation, it's pull and then it goes back. And compliant mechanisms deform in elastic deformation. Deform in the elastic region, for example. So going off of the learnings of my last video, which I hope is online now, I'll start off with a quick round of research just to see what's out there in the world as far as different ways people hang their utensils. Listen, I know I'm not the only one with a kitchen. I know I'm not the only one who has this problem. The least I can do is see what smart people have done to solve this problem and gain some inspiration from them. So I've done the research, and I really like a few examples. My favorite ones are these. So, but I was able to also think really well about what I do and what I don't like. This is what I like about research. It's that like I have a vision in my head, but once I go out there and see what's out there in the world, I can realize like there's a good chance that you find something that fits your needs exactly. More often than not, you can kind of find yourself recalibrating what you thought you wanted, because sometimes you find out that you don't actually want it, and sometimes you find out that you want something different even more. This is something that I experience a lot. I experience it when I go out and buy something like furniture, for example. I go out there with an idea, but I go out there more importantly with an openness to change my mind, right? Like, I don't know what I want and have conviction. If I'm buying a couch, I'm buying a couch, right? Like, I don't know all the couches in the world. I don't have a catalog in my head. So research is very important. Anyway, first iteration out of the way. And I don't like it. Usually the first one is always unsuitable. It's kind of like pancakes or children. You want to get all your mistakes done on the first one or the first few ones, so that once you make the third or fourth one, you're kind of comfortable with the process and just breeze on through. There's a few issues with this one. The first is that we can go thicker on the hook. Like this hook, I first of all, there's some stringing here, which I don't really like. I don't know what weight this hook will be holding, because again, I want this to be super modular. But the thing is, like, I have the luxury to over-engineer this part of the design specifically, so I can pretty much decide to make it much thicker. It can be heavier, it can be solid. So why not, right? Like, this is a kitchen, it can get hot, there can be sunlight. I don't want to have to worry about this at all. Second thing, I'm really happy to see that this compliant mechanism works. When I say it works, there's an asterisk there, but this is how, like, it's exactly like the sketch. It's like the design. I really like it. When I press on these two tabs, you can see the hole gets bigger, and so it just makes it so that whatever dowel goes in through here, which I still need to get, it just works, right? Which is great. This is an ergonomics thing, but if you look at how small these tabs are, there's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be taller, because it's an ergonomics thing, but for now it's not comfortable with the hands. I have the option to make it more sturdy and more stable, so I'll do that. And I also want to round all the corners. I don't know why I didn't do this, but all the corners are sharp and I don't like that, so I'm going to round all these. Okay, so in a stunning turn of events, this is actually a very, very, very good second prototype. I think I'm almost done here. Like this is how it works. So I made sure to make it super simple because I am lazy and I just assume others would like to be lazy too. And so why not? There's 2 anchor points. I didn't focus on this too much last time, but I did this time. There's 2 anchor points. So you have, actually, I'm gonna get this one because this is marble PLA. This is the first time I'm trying this new filament, and I really like it. Like it's clean. The layer lines still show, but my standards are kind of they're for 3D printing they're high because I've injection molded, I've cast, I've done a lot of stuff. So 3D printing, like I hold it to a pretty high standard, just so I can be better at it. But the marble PLA, it's nice. Even if the airlines still show, it's fine. I think it's fine. This is how this works. So I got the dimensions for the suction cups, and they just slot in. It's a bit tight, but that's, you want that. And you stick them to the surface like this. And I got the dowel, and this fits here. And so you have 2 of them. You've got another one here. You attach it like this. And then you have this. And that's it. That's it. It fits. It fits. Now, obviously, before you put these, you have to hook this on. And the hook, the hook works great. Like you can, will this fit? Oh, this might not fit. I haven't tested this before going on. Oh, it does. Okay, so it works great. It's tight on there, but then like now it's tight. Right now it's super tight. It's hard to move. And then if you press on it like this, you can move it around, which is this is still, now that I'm using it more and more, it's still a bit too tight. And honestly, so one of the ideas I had was just bridging these 2 together. There's no reason why that shouldn't be the case. I also thought about different ways to make this, but you can't really injection mold something like this. Like just this intricacy here makes it super hard to make a cheap like mold. From what I understand, from what I know about injection molding and from my experience in injection molding, it's hard to injection mold something like this, but I think it's impossible. But I'm sure there's different ways to do it in a way where like the design is different and you can still kind of find a way to do something the same. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. I think what I'm gonna do is send it to a few friends of mine, and have them test it out. Because a few of them just moved to new places and they're setting up their kitchen. I helped them move, and I noticed that they have the same problem as me. So I'm going to try user testing this with someone who hasn't made it, and so they don't really understand. They don't have a full breadth of of the entire process and the entire thought process. They just see the product as is and see what they have to say about it. So apparently, testing designs on users is pretty cool because it turns out there is not enough suction for just one suction cup. Like, they told me a lot of really cool feedback. First is, I don't have to have this so far away. I don't know why this is so extended. I don't know why I made it this way. I thought it just looked cool, but I designed another anchor point or mount or whatever it's called that is inset. So I completely removed this. It's entirely flat. And another thing that I was told is that there is not enough suction for just one suction cup. So I have this, I have this, I have this, I have one more, and I doubled the amount of suction. And when they tried it, it was much, much better. Another friend of mine tested this on me and gave me a really good idea that I didn't actually think about earlier, which is that suction cups need a smooth surface to seal everything. And like, if there's any suction cups work by conforming and then creating a vacuum and just sucking, pretty much, that's in the name, right? So you have to have like an airtight seal or semi-airtight, an airtight seal. And if you have tiles, for example, or if you have very tiny tiles, it wouldn't work in a kitchen. Or if you have wood, for example, it wouldn't work in the kitchen. And so they told me that since a lot of kitchen surfaces don't have that, I'm planning on designing 2 more variations where the mounting points don't use suction cups. They don't use this. They use either drywall screws or mounting tape, like the kind of the command strips or whatever they're called. And that should be so that anyone, like, there's more people that can use it. Like, you don't have to be tied down by the type of kitchen you have. Like, if you're renting, for example, or if you just redesigned your kitchen and you have a different surface, I don't want this to be a limiting factor, right? So anyway, the changes I made. This is the final design for the suction cups. This is the final design. All of the points for the like the knob or whatever it's called, they're inset. So they go in here, which means that you don't have to, actually I have to put this one in first, which means that you don't have to worry about it being cantilevered. So you have 2 different points and you just stick it in like this. And you have another one here. By the way, quick fun fact, I had to print these multiple times because I forgot to mirror them. So I would print one like this, and then I couldn't figure out whether it's mirrored or not. And so I would just copy it, and it would be the same. It would be the same one. It would be the same one. It was bad. So this is it, and this is I think for now the final hook. Aesthetically speaking, it's prettier than it used to be. It doesn't make it pretty, it just makes it less ugly. There's a big difference, but I like it. It's hooked. It's very, very strong. It's very strong this way too. And it fits the dowel, most importantly, it fits the dowel. And to be honest with you, it's a much, much more comfortable feel, and it doesn't sacrifice on tightness. It's just as tight. Put one here. I don't know where the other one is. There it is. The other one here. And that's it. And I'm done. So this is it. This is the final thing. It's stuck on like this. You have all these hooks. You can move them around that way, and everything is right underneath this incredibly dirty, it's not clean at all, stove. So there's a huge amount of access. Like if I need something, please ignore how dirty this is. Not clean at all. I'm gonna clean it on Sundays, my clean day, but you know, if I need something, I just grab it from here, I get it over here. The rest of my utensils are here. I found this thing. I like it. You know, this is stuff that's less widely used, but still it's nice to have. And the drawer now is just for bowls, which I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, this is it. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time.